UFC Krylov vs. Spann takes place this weekend, and the poster looks like Men in Black 4, and they recasted Agent K as Pedro Pascal and Will Smith as Denzel Washington's son. I said Dominic Reyes' son. That's not Dominic Reyes' son. Um, I'm really excited for this card. Okay, last card, boys. All right, I'm going in depth today, like I did last time. And if you missed last time, let me just bring your attention up here to this record right here, set 41-19 this year. Okay, 71%. Last card I went 8-3. UFC 284 I went 10-2. Check the statistics, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I'm going off at the moment. I picked Aaron Blanchfield. I almost said Eric Blanchfield. Aaron Blanchfield by round 2 or round 3 finish. Who's doing that in the game? Guru picked round 1 Andrade. Okay? And this is what I'm doing, alright? I'm out here putting up numbers, okay? So I'm going to go to the early prelims. I'm going to give you guys all the picks you need to know, okay? It's just prelims, actually. Thank God almighty. First fight. We've got Eric Gonzalez versus Trevor Peak in the lightweight division, okay? Should be a decent fight to open the card. I got to be honest. I really don't care about either of these guys or this fight. But, you know, this is what we have to do. I've actually gone in depth. I've looked at these guys' records. Usually when I do the prelims, I kind of just go, oh, no, this guy looks cool. This one, and I usually end up right, so maybe that'll mess me up this time. But I'm going to try and keep it going, all right? I'm going to pick Trevor Peak by KO. He's coming off the Contender Series, I believe. He's got a lot of KOs on his record. He's the younger guy. And I have literally nothing to say or think about Eric Gonzalez. So I'm going to pick Trevor Peak by KO here, round 1 or round 2. Moving on swiftly. I've had to record this like 4 or 5 times, okay? I'm sick. I'm dying, okay? I'm healing myself as best as I can. I'm taking all the meds I can. I've got a fight on the weekend. Tomorrow, actually, when you're watching this. Alhamdulillah, we're going to smash this guy's brother. We're going to win this, okay? Bantamweight, I digress. We've got Jose Johnson versus Garrett Armfield in the Bantamweight division. Jose Johnson's debuting. Garrett Armfield, he's fought in the UFC before. He trains at Killcliff FC with some good guys. Just to name one that, you know, is basically one of the goats of the sport. Kevin Lee, you might have heard of him. He's kind of a big deal. Yeah, he trains there. Okay, so I almost picked Garrett Armfield, but then I looked at Jose Johnson's record. Okay, very, very good record. Fought very good competition. Beat very good competition. Very, very experienced guys on the regional scenes. Very good records. We're talking about undefeated records. You know, we're talking about KOs here, submissions. I'm going to pick Jose Johnson here by a 29-28 decision. I'm assuming he's going to be maybe a slight underdog, or it's going to be a bit of a pick'em fight. I could see Garrett Armfield winning just because of his experience and his team. But I'm going to pick Jose Johnson here. You know, fuck it. Let's do it, okay? Moving on to the women's bantamweight division. We've got Hayley Cowan versus Aylen Perez. I feel sick just looking at this matchup, okay? I went on Tapology expecting to see, I don't know, like, something, like, good. You know, they're saying this Hayley Cowan chick's coming off the Contender Series. She's pretty good. I see split decision win over, like, a 5-5 chick on the Contender Series. And she loses to a chick that's 1-2 by submission, so not just a robbery decision or something. Loses to 1-2 by decision. I mean submission, sorry. It's giving me CTE just thinking about it. And Aylen Perez. I'm going to pick Aylen Perez by decision. I think she's fought better competition. Slightly better competition. They both fought kind of nobodies. But Aylen Perez has fought in the UFC before. I think this will be an extremely close fight. An extremely boring fight. And Hayley Cowan is losing to people that are 1-2. So I can't in good conscience pick you. I'd feel... this is a running theme on this card. I'd feel less dumb if I picked Aylen Perez and I was wrong than if I picked Hayley Cowan, who's lost his... Let me just reiterate that, okay? That is a Mike the Truth Jackson record. That is a CM Punk, not even a CM Punk. That's like a Ben Askren in the UFC record, okay? And she got submitted, like not just like a close fight or like she was debuting. No. She got finished, bro, and she won on the Contender Series by split decision. I'm going to go with Aylen Perez here, okay? I'm just going to pick her. She's in the UFC, so... Moving on, lightweight division. This is a good fight, dude. I'm excited for this. We got Raphael Alves versus, I believe he's debuting Nurulo Aliyev in the lightweight division. He's an undefeated guy, I believe, 8-0. Raphael Alves has got a pretty good record. I think he's 20-10, 20-11, or 20-9, something like that. He's only new to the UFC, really. It feels like he's one of the staples of the lightweight, like unranked kind of division. You know, his great fight with Drew Dober that he lost. Great fight with Demirez Magulov that he lost. I think you're seeing a pattern here. I think he won one fight when he debuted by guillotine. So he's got a lot of submissions on his record. I wouldn't be surprised if Raphael Alves can pull off a submission early or maybe a late submission if he rallies with his defense and he's able to tire out Nurul or Aliyev. But I'm going to go with Aliyev by KO here. I'm going to go with Aliyev in this fight. He's probably going to be a slight favorite because of the undefeated record. I know we saw that fall apart last week, but I think at lightweight it's a whole different story. And 8-0 sometimes can be more scary than 23-0. You know what I mean? Especially coming into the UFC. So I'm just hearing myself and just realizing how sick I actually am. But I digress, okay? I'm sorry. Not going to try and get you sick in this video, but I'm going to pick Nurul or Aliyev. Just let me cough on you. Aliyev by KO, okay? Yeah, let me just cough on you real quick, sorry. Hope you enjoyed that, okay? Moving on to the catchweight division, meant to be a flyweight bout. Charles Johnson, the most active man in the UFC, versus Ode Osborne, one of the most exciting flyweights in my opinion. Great fighter, really fun to watch. Was doing well against Tyson Nam. This should be a really good fight, man. I think Charles Johnson has really got a lot of momentum right now. He's really improved and proved that Muhammad Makayev loss was a one-time thing. He looked good in that fight as well. So I'm going to pick Charles Johnson by decision here. I think Ode Osborne's going to be on his game. I don't see him getting KO'd as he has in the past. I think Charles Johnson is not really that type of fighter. I could see Charles Johnson maybe rocking him on the feet and getting a decision victory with his grappling. But regardless, I'm going to pick Charles Johnson by decision here. Should be a very good fight. Should be a fun fight. And I'm actually really looking forward to these two fights. Alves and Aliyev and Osborne versus Johnson. I think these will be good fights. For once, on a card, I think just compared to... Maybe they did that on purpose. You ever think that? Maybe sometimes the UFC puts these bad cards on, like last week, just so we can go, oh my god, they got Ode Osborne versus Charles Johnson, and it's a catchweight. Like, wow, what an awesome fight. Like, maybe that's conspiracy, but okay. We're gonna move on to the lightweight division. We got Joe Selecki versus Carl Deaton. Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is that? Oh my god. Now I'm going to go with Joe Selecki by submission. I picked Joe Selecki by submission over a lot of people in this unranked section of the lightweight division. Joe Selecki is a very, very underrated fighter, dude. I think he's got 3 submissions in the UFC or 3 wins. Joe Selecki is a legit grappler. I shouted him out in my future unranked champions. Do I think he's going to be a champion? Probably not. But do I think he could end up bottom of the rankings or maybe beating some of these guys close to it, like a Drew Dober or a Raphael Alves or a Terrence McKinney? Yes, I really do. I think he is quite a good lightweight in this just outside the ranking section, and maybe he can improve to even that ranked section. We have to see him in this fight. But I'm going to trust Joe Selecki here. I'm going to pick him by submission round 1 or round 2. Okay, moving on to the lightweight division, we got Jordan Levitt. Okay, the least sus fighter in the UFC, Paddy Pimblett's father, versus Victor Martinez. Okay, I know a lot of people really meme on Jordan Levitt, and I think a lot of people are picking Martinez here by KO, I believe, because maybe his striking is probably better. But I'm gonna go with Jordan Levitt by decision here. I think his striking is improving enough to where he can use it to get his ground game going. We saw it against Paddy Pimblett. We've seen it in a couple of his fights. I believe he was on a winning streak when he fought Paddy Pimblett. Maybe a 2-fight winning streak or something like that. He's got a couple of good wins in the UFC, I guess, some split decisions. But I think overall, Jordan Levitt is going to do enough to win this fight with his grappling. I think it will be a close fight, as most Jordan Levitt fights are. I don't see a finish, really. But I'm going to pick Jordan Levitt to win this by 29-28 or 30-27 decision over Victor Martinez. I think it'll be close rounds, close fight. But I'm going to pick Jordan Levitt to win this. I'm going to trust him, okay? Moving on to the headliner of the prelims. A super star-studded fight. Huge name value, huge importance to the UFC. As you can tell, it's a great main event to the prelims when she doesn't even have a fight. When she looks like a fucking unlockable character in fucking SmackDown versus Raw 2007. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. We've got Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Gabriella Fernandez. I believe this Gabriella Fernandez is 9-1. She's got a couple of KOs on her record, which a lot of people are kind of picking her based on that. But looking through, I always look at this stuff. This stuff is really important to me. Jasmine Jasudavicius, that's such a stupid last name, sorry. Just to pronounce, not a dumb... Your name is whatever it is. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Anyways, Jasudavicius, I'm going to pick her to win by decision. I think she's fought better competition. She's beat better competition more recently if you look at their records. We've seen a lot of unproven kind of power punches or KO artists kind of come in and kind of just get get shown the ropes by UFC veterans who are able to weather the storm, who don't care about power, who have got wins in the UFC, have dealt with the big scary puncher, you know what I'm saying? And especially at women's flyweight, I don't really see a vicious KO happening here. I could be wrong. Just edit it in right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jasuda Vicious by decision. I feel like I'm picking a lot of underdogs right now, but that's just what I'm feeling, bruv. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm feeling, bruv. 9 out of 10 times I fucking picked this card right, mate. Alright, moving on to the welterweight division. Opening the main card, we've got Mike Malott versus Johan Laness. Again, I'm leaning the underdog here. I'm gonna go Johan Laness to win this fight. By KO or decision. I think Mickey Gall, while the KO was very impressive for Mike Malott, is Mickey Gall really that impressive of a win to make you 2-1 favorite over a guy who, if you look at their records, has fought way better people, and lost to a more legitimate guy at welterweight. And it wasn't like I just think when you look at the competition, this fight is not that much of a mismatch to where I feel comfortable picking Malott. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where this pick is coming from. Malott is a 2-1 favorite, as if he's like this rising prospect, and you beat Mickey Gall, bro. You know what I'm saying? Mike Perry dominated Mickey Gall. What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Mike Perry's not exactly considered one of the best fighters in the world. And these guys have basically the same record. They've fought similar competition. Johan Laness has probably beat better guys and fought better guys and lost to better guys at welterweight. So again, I'm going to go with Laness by KO decision. Maybe a 29-28 decision. I see it being a good fight. I won't be surprised if Malott wins by KO, obviously. But yeah, I'm just going to pick Johan Laness and just throw it out there and go, hey, I picked him. Okay, use out there picking Mike Malott. Don't change your picks, yeah? Stick with your picks, okay? Moving on to the women's flyweight bout. Tatiana Suarez, I got a lot to say about it. I can't say it on the video, but yeah. Look, before I pick this fight, I'm going to pick Tatiana Suarez to win. I know there's a lot of controversy about my takes about Mackenzie Dern. I almost said Mickey Gall. My takes about Mackenzie Dern. A lot of people DM me trying to disprove that my thoughts on her. Some people agree with me, and I've got some weird messages about it. Tatiana Suarez is an interesting case for me, because look, sometimes you get the ones right. Let me school you on some game. Sometimes you get the ones that it's 50. It's a coin flip. What you're getting, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're getting a baddie, and you're like, okay, she looks good. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling this. Okay. And then sometimes she'll pop out in the gram, and you're like, oh my god, respectfully. You're like, bro, I feel like I've just, when did I start following my cousin? You know what I'm saying? When did my cousin get out of jail and post on Instagram? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? So, unrelated, I'm going to pick Tatiana Suarez to win this fucking fight by decision. She's a fucking really good wrestler. She's a really good fighter. I thought she was going to get a title shot before she stepped out of the UFC, I think due to health issues and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see her back. I'm going to pick Tatiana Suarez to win this by decision. Yeah, moving on. Heavyweight division. We've got the heavyweight go. I feel like that is... Let me be clear with you. I Obama'd you, okay? Let me be clear. Why is he making that face, bro? Anyways, I'm getting off topic really badly right now. Sorry. Augusto Sakai, Parker Porter, Josh Parisian, I think belongs in that category of heavyweight Mount Rushmore. Augusto Sakai is a legend, bro. Brazilian legend. I'm going to pick Augusto Sakai to win this by decision or round 2 KO. His chin really worries me, and Mays is a decent fighter. He's got some good wins. He's fought some really good guys. But I can see Sakai's grappling being the difference. His pace, he's quite a high-pace heavyweight. It's just his chin that worries me. So either Mays is going to KO him, or I see Sakai just grappling him to a decision, maybe finding a submission on the ground or a ground and pound TKO. But my final pick is going to be Sakai by decision. I think he gets this one done. 29-28, maybe 30-27 if he looks really good, if he's improved, if he's recovered, if he's able to get it to the ground easily. I think I'm going to go with Augusto Sakai. Like I said, I will feel less dumb having picked Augusto Sakai, who's been ranked, and, fought some of the best guys at heavyweight, than and he loses, then I'll feel more dumb if I pick Don'Tale Mays and he loses. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then you're gonna be like, bro, you picked Don'Tale Mays over Augustus Sky. It's like, yeah, I did. Okay. So that's my logic. I'm gonna pick Sakai by decision. Okay. Moving on to the co-main event. Really stacked co-main event here. We've got Brendan the lunch lady Allen. He looks like Jordan Wright if he like took up a job at the school cafeteria. Like, why does it look like he's wearing a hairnet in that photo? Versus Andre Muniz. I won't go over what profession it looks like Andre Muniz has in this photo. If you know, you know. You probably don't know, but I just find that funny to say. I like saying that shit. This is a really close fight. I think the odds are very misleading. Similar to the Malott Liness fight, very misleading odds. These two guys are really compatible with each other style-wise. I think this is going to be a tough fight for both guys. There's areas where both of these guys are really good, and it's going to be interesting to see them clash in the grappling, especially. I can see Allen winning this fight and kind of springing the upset. I want to pick him, but I'm going to go with Muniz here by decision. I think the difference is going to be his grappling will happen. We know it's going to happen. I can see him being able to control Brendan Allen long enough to win the fight. And Brendan Allen kind of, MMA Guru made a really good point that Brendan Allen kind of plays the game. He'll let stuff happen on the grappling. I can see that definitely affecting him and costing him a round early. Maybe he just takes the first round off if he gets taken down and kind of just conserves his energy and comes out really fast in the second. And maybe does better and it's a close fight. But I can also see the kicks of Muniz really benefiting him in this fight, kind of mixing it up for him so that he can get takedowns easier and kind of being the difference maker to even up the striking numbers, because I guess on paper it would seem like Brendan Allen is the better striker, Muniz is the better grappler. I think it's going to be really close in both departments. I think Allen is going to be really good defensively, takedown-wise. He's going to be very prepared for this. He's going to be ready to get back up. But I think Muniz is going to be able to do enough to get a decision. I'm going to go with Muniz, 29-28, 30-27 decision, maybe one scorecard 30-77, but generally it's going to be a 29-28. Off a mix of, takedowns, control time, and the kicks as well. Leg kicks, body kicks, some head kicks occasionally as well, really mixing him up. And if he gets taken down, I can see him scrambling well with Brendan Allen. Like, Brendan Allen's not going to try and take him down, in my opinion. So that's my pick. Muniz by decision. Okay? Main event. This is a very, very close fight, okay? I went Luke Thomas mode, breaking this fight down. I watched all these guys' losses. Yeah, I watched these guys' losses. I didn't watch their wins, because a lot of them are fucking bullshit. Gustafsson, Reyes, bro, really? Like, that's like, whoa, dude, you knocked out Dominic Reyes, who's like, I'm Dominic Reyes, and just gets faceplant KO'd now. Like, that, I don't care. That's not going to give me anything. That's like, anyone would have done that. That was in that fight. That's a light heavyweight in the UFC with power. Okay? Here's my thoughts. Let me go in depth on this. Make this like a short or something. Put some like Sigma music over this, okay? There's two outcomes this weekend, okay? I think Nikita Krylov either is going to be able to capitalize on like the lackluster defense of Ryan Spann, because we know Ryan Spann is not necessarily the best defensive striker. He does get wobbled a lot. He does get dropped a lot. He does get finished by KO more often than not if he loses. I can see Nikita Krylov just catching him with a really good check hook or a straight punch that just really puts him on ice, and finishing him on the ground when he tries to get a takedown while he's hurt. So Spann tries to get a takedown while he's hurt, and I can see Krylov dropping elbows, dropping hooks, putting him to the ground, finishing him there with ground and pound, either round one or round two. With his kicks, and he's able to land those really good shots in like exchanges, and Ryan Spann's going to be blitzing. He's always very aggressive. He's always very all the way in or all the way out. Like, he's either coming to finish you or he's like waiting on the outside. And I can see Krylov just counterpunching him if he's really patient, and just catching him with a check hook on the chin and just putting him down and finishing him on the ground, round one or round two. That's probably the most likely option. That's what I'm going to pick to happen, is Nikita Krylov round one or round two KO. The only other option, in my opinion, is Ryan Spann gets dropped, or he manages to crack Krylov, and bait him into going to the ground. Krylov, as good as he is, he's improving. We all know he's known to make very, very careless mistakes on the ground, and I can just picture it so clearly. Ryan Spann getting dropped, getting it to the ground somehow, or getting Krylov to tie up with him and finding some sort of round two or round three guillotine decision, like submission, some bullshit submission, kind of pulling it out of, Hail Mary. I think that's your most likely outcomes. I'm going to go with Krylov by KO, but if Ryan Spann can bait Krylov into kind of going in the ground with him if he thinks he's hurt, I can definitely see Spann submitting him. I don't see this fight going the distance. I feel Krylov has more ways to win, which is why I'm going to pick Krylov, because I feel like to win, all he has to do is fight his own fight and be focused and be patient and just take the fight as it comes to him and just counter strike and fight on the outside with his kicks. His leg kicks will be there. His calf kicks will be there. His jab, his hooks will be more powerful because they'll be more accurate, in my opinion. Versus Spann, who kind of needs Krylov to make mistakes that he's made so many times that you would think now he's like, okay, I don't make those mistakes anymore. Hopefully that makes sense. Obviously, like I said, I think Spann's gonna have the advantage in the grappling. I think he has more power, but like I said, Krylov's just more accurate. He's more technical. He's more diverse. He's not a boxer like Spann. He doesn't just box and try and submit these guys. He's got front kicks. He's got the calf kicks. He's going to frustrate Spann. He's going to pull him into punches. And I think he's going to pull him into a big hook or a big uppercut and finish him in round 1 or round 2 on the ground. Worst case scenario, I could see a round 3 happening if both these guys kind of take round 1 to feel each other out. But yeah, I'm going to go with Krylov by KO, round 1, 2, or 3. Most confidently, round 1 or round 2. So these are my in-depth predictions and breakdowns for UFC Fight Night Krylov versus Spann. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment down below, boys. Thank you so much for watching if you watched all the way through. I'll try not to cough on you anymore. I'm about to cough, but I'm not going to do it. I'm built different, bruh. I'm like that, yeah? I drink sparkling water. I'm built different, okay? But yeah, thank you for watching, okay? I'll see you in the next video, boys. Have a good one. I've got weigh-ins today. I'm about to eat like a motherfucker afterwards, alright? I'll see you in the next video, boys. Goodbye.